Great and positive aspects behind the implementation of hybrid educational model. Abstract. COVID has shown and highlighted the deficiencies in our educational system, but also it has accelerated a process that was supposed to last several years more. After COVID, the usage of technology to learn has become a standard, a situation that represents advantages and disadvantages. During the lockdown, teaching methods had to be hastily adjusted to try to meet the educational needs of the entire population. At first expected, the virtual education model had many deficiencies. However, many of these were corrected over time. This is not to say that distant learning has surpassed face to face teaching, but rather that it has been able to improve fast enough to minimize potential student lags. Methodology. This is a quantitative and field research. Some questionnaires have been applied in 50 students to get average data about the condition of learning with a new blended mode. If possible, virtual formats are used to make work easier and faster. Virtual formats are easier to handle and sometimes faster to use. However, sometimes it's hard to find participants when using this method because when these questionnaires are sent to students' mails, they consider it as spam or just don't feel obligated to answer. This is different when using a printed format and the data is collected personally. Participants feel the obligation to act politely and be cooperative. To get a major quantity of samples in a short time, both procedures have been used during this research. The evidence collected and contrasted here has also the intention of appreciating the mutations and changes in educational and society through the last years from the beginning of the pandemic to the current date. Results. The majority of the students agree that the most noticeable difficulties are adapting to new technologies for teachers and themselves, and second, the facilities in their schools are getting old and outdated. And third, some equipment is not used due to a lack of knowledge about its usage. Also, also 60% of the answers in these questionnaires have shown that students don't agree with hybrid learning, mainly due to the difficulty to acquire smart devices as a computer or to get access to services as internet. The other 40% agree that this type of learning has more benefits than deficiencies, so it's worth it. Conclusion. The new methods of teaching that have suddenly invaded all the educational system might make us feel frightened and insecure, especially because the new difficulties have appeared. However, this evolution is something that had to happen sooner or later, just a matter of time. It's a good idea to take advantage of the situation lived in the pandemic and make use of the knowledge acquired to combine technology and pedagogy correctly. This new environment of teaching and learning has a lot of new opportunities, but sadly, also disadvantages. We must be aware of all possible results of using blended education and be prepared for the next changes in following years.